What is up, RotoGrinders? Hour, 45 minutes nonstop NBA DFS conversation, taking you all the way up the lock. 7 o'clock on the East Coast. Returning champion, Ed Chopper. He's back. Myself, Dean Chamberlain. Dean's 7 out of 4 if you want to get all technical on the DFS streets. 5-game slate, sprint slate. 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 1 hour window from start to finish. The start is locked. Both DK and FanDuel decided to dump the back half of the Peacock doubleheader. That is the Mavericks and the Kings. Front half of that doubleheader is Miami. Miami taking on Minnesota. One of the biggest questions in the slate is Ant Edwards going to play on Peacock? He's officially questionable. Wembanyama went through warm-ups today, so he's also questionable, probably more likely to play, but we shall see. Myself, Chop, Tuesday, Television Tuesday. Let's give the people the first clue. Sure, why not? Right out the gate. First clue for TV Tuesday is tail. Chop, how are things? Happy Tuesday.
Somebody just rang the doorbell. So the dog's going crazy, Dean. Don't let it distract us from what we got to do here. We got a little short slate here. No, I think we was expecting somebody else to come over, but nice little Tuesday small slate where it's all the games are within an hour of each other, so it should be nice, Dean. And we're also being joined. I don't know if we got some company today, Dean. We got special company today. I don't know if
who's joining us.
Well, only the diehardest of GrindersLive fans will remember a guy that goes by the name of Chapo Head. You remember this guy, Dean? You remember this guy?
Chapo. Oh, yeah. I remember Chapo Head. Yeah.
Only the diehardest of fans were around back in the day. That was.
Why is he back? What's the special occasion?
He's just been up on the shelf, and I was looking up there today, I got another bobblehead here recently, and I was adding it to the collection, and there was Chapo Head's up there, and we haven't seen him in a while. He hadn't made an appearance in a while, so he's just hanging up there on the top shelf with Groot and Jordan Alvarez and some other guys. And so I was like, let's dust him off and bring him out for the show, man. You never know. He's good luck.
All right. We got Chop. Maybe I'll bring back. I'm trying to see what I can bring back. I send that. Oh, I got Mr. Predicto. Remember Mr. Predicto?
Sure.
Yes or no questions for Mr. Predicto. It's kind of a bootleg Magic 8-Ball. We have one of those too. One of those as well. But yeah. If we have any yes or no questions and we have time later on the show, by all means, yeah. Choplehead and Mr. Predicto. This is a throwback show for sure. I didn't mention it, but I assume that people know at this point, right? Get the Discord channel. That's how you tell me what today's TV show is. 5 clues, 1 dropped every 10 minutes or so. Eventually we'll get a winner. First person to tell me what TV show I'm talking about in the Discord channel. That's rotogrinders.com/Discord, the live stream chat channel. Chop yesterday beat the field, took down the field. It was spectacular see if he can keep that momentum going after Movie Monday. So, John Harbaugh just got fired in case you missed that. Chop, we talked about that briefly on the show. They're talking about here in the chat. What's up, chat? Hit that like button. Do subscribe. Turn on those notifications. A little bit later than usual. The reason why, because it's just a 5-game baby slate. Crunch time coming in about an hour. You got Kevin Roth holding it down, as well as Kyle Murray. And Kirkdiese also joining the show. All right. Chop, we have Edwards, who's currently questionable. Wembanyama, who's currently questionable. Otherwise, Cleveland's in the first game. We don't know about Jalen Tyson. He's ill. He had the fish. He's questionable. We already know that, Cleveland let us know that Mitchell is not playing tonight. He's out for, I think they gave him just rest, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's not even a back-to-back thing. They're just resting them. Lakers on the front end. There's no teams in the back end. Nobody playing tonight, played yesterday. But there are 5 teams in the front end. That's the Lakers, Memphis, New Orleans, Orlando, and the Spurs. We did get John Morant ruled out. Well, no, he's officially doubtful, but we're assuming he's out. Maybe he plays tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. We have the return of Vince Williams. He's currently probable. So that mucks things up a little bit. The Memphis rotation is going to be pretty tricky to kind of figure out, but we're currently projecting Cam Spencer to draw the start there for the Grizz. He's projecting really well. Chop, any general thoughts as far as this slate? We don't really have anything else. Let's see. Herb Jones. That's also the front end of a back-to-back. He's questionable, which I don't know how much that matters, but worth noting, I suppose. when it comes to new injuries, new situations. Matherin's out for the Pacers. We'll talk about that in a second. Max Strus, I just said he's going to be out for at least another month or so. He just have to play a game this season. Not looking great there for Cleveland. Bad season as is. Not that he's the savior, but they could use him. He's a nice little piece. Chop, any general thoughts as far as the slate before we fully dive in?
Nope.
I do always like to ask for general thoughts, and you never want to give them. You never have any general thoughts in the slate.
There's no general thoughts to an NBA slate. Just player. It's just player by player. It's micro. It's not macro for the NBA.
What's going on in the chat? You're threatening. Did we have to ban somebody?
Hey guys, says my Houston Cougars are going to lose tonight. I don't know if you know. I'm wearing the quarter zip Jordan brand.
Sure.
Today, huge game. Texas Tech. They're definitely a rival. Definitely very obnoxious fan base. One of the worst in the Big 12. So hopefully we get them tonight. Hopefully we clip them tonight. But so Greg is trying to tell me that we're going to lose. So I don't take that lightly, Dean. I'm gonna have to ban him if he keeps up that bad vibes.
You say often like this fan base is obnoxious. This fan base we hate. We don't like those. Can you give me a fan base that you're like cool with? Most people like it's easy to put the ones who
Iowa State.
We like the Iowa State fan base.
They're just some good peoples. They're just good people. They are. They're good people. They're nice. They're polite. They're kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Iowa State. St. Louis Cardinals, the best fans in all of sports. Yeah, sure they are. When things are going well. When they're not. What about Iowa? You mentioned Iowa State. Is Iowa the one that has the wave to the Children's Hospital? That's like the best new tradition, right?
They seem fine, but I mean, I haven't had any personal experience with them, so I couldn't tell you.
I don't either.
I'm just giving you everything from my own personal experience.
What's your personal experience with Iowa State fans?
They're just polite and kind. I went to a game last year where it was in Houston, but there was a lot of they travel really well. A lot of interaction with Iowa State people. They were really good. And then you get on social media and you interact with them, and they're just, they're kind people. They just, competitive in the game, but once the game's over, it's done, and you can go back to being polite to the other humans. Whereas Texas Tech exits your stadium and they try to pick fights on the way back to the car. It's just terrible, man.
Yeah, that's the way that's the way it should be as far as the way you described Iowa State. We just got a winner and one. Unbelievable.
There's no way.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Hell.
Yeah, unbelievable. I got to make the game harder. I got to make it harder. I can't. I'm just tilting over here because we got a winner and one, and it's one of regular winners, and now the conspiracy theorists are gonna tinfoil hats. Here they come. Shout out to Peterman. Peterman got it in one. That's really impressive. We're gonna play it out, but that was very, very impressive for.
I don't know if you ever watched a show several years ago with Anderson Cooper.
I love this show. The Mole you're talking about?
The Mole. I'm afraid, Dean, you might have a mole.
It's been rebooted. It's on Netflix now. There's a different host, or at least I don't know if it's. He's not doing it anymore. But I'm not a big reality show person. Not to chop you off, but I love that show, The Mole. I thought it was very clever.
You might have a mole in your midst, Dean, because the same people are winning on. And if you're not the one giving, and I believe you're a man of integrity when it comes to the game.
Try to be.
So I'm thinking that
somebody's getting. It's the only other person to be Steve.
Somebody's getting your notes. And they're leaking them, Dean. That's all I can think of. Because who gets it on tail?
Just Steve. It's just me and Steve. Nobody else knows the answer.
I'm not blaming Steve.
Well, your point.
I'm just saying I'm just saying maybe you have a mole. I didn't say Steve's name. I just said maybe you have a mole.
Okay.
You know how and this is real. This is 100% real. Where you get your phone these days and you're talking to somebody in your house or talking to anybody, and you mention man, I'm thinking of switching insurances on my car because it's getting a little too. And then the next thing you know, you're inundated with 100 because they're listening in on your phone. All the microphones and everything. They're listening in on everything. maybe you got somebody listening in on your phone there, and you're like doing your clues in your house, and you're saying them out loud, and you're going, I wonder if they'll get this on tail, and
maybe
somebody's listening in on you. I don't know.
I haven't looked into this, but I this is my assumption. You know, TVs have gotten a lot cheaper. I think part of the reason is because we're probably accepting something, and we're giving all our data to somebody, and they're selling that data off. And because I don't know if your TV does this, like if my TV, if I'm not watching anything in particular, or if just if I don't push a button for a while, like hours, I'm talking about, it'll just go to and I'm just on my PlayStation, but it'll just go to commercials. And it's where are these commercials coming from? Who's paying for these commercials? I'm not watching a TV show per se. You know what I'm talking about? Depending on what app I'm on.
Oh, it's 100% smart TVs are in on it.
Definitely what's going on.
100% smart TVs are in on all of it, for sure.
Yeah, it's what station I'm even watching that all of a sudden commercials are coming up? This doesn't make any sense. Okay, first game, Cleveland and the Pacers, 237.5. That's the total. Cleveland is a 7-point favorite in Indiana. Jared Allen is over his illness. He's over the fish. He's officially good to go. He's probable tonight. We mentioned Max Strus. He's still out. The big one, of course, is Donovan Mitchell. He's not playing basketball tonight. Dean Wade is probable with his knee. Jalen Tyson is questionable, which is somewhat meaningful as well. Probably would matter for guys I think we have an if-then for it. We'll talk about that in a second. For Indiana, there's no Benedict Mathurin. We're expecting Nembhard, Murphy, Furphy, Naismith, Pascal Siakam, and Michael Potter to draw the start here. There's some fragility to Potter, but pretty good fantasy point per minute player, and he projects pretty well. We get a little bit of a boost there for Timothy John, TJ McConnell, another guy that projects pretty solid today. How are we feeling about the Cavs and the Pacers? The first of two games at 7:00. The last three in the 8:00 block. So we got two early, three, and an hour break for three more games.
Yeah, so when I first opened it up this morning and I started looking, Pascal Siakam jumped off to me. And I was like, oh, man, yeah, he might be my play of the day, for the survey. He might be my number one guy in the survey. And then, it was Mitchell's ruled out, and it's wait a minute. As good as Siakam is, there's better plays even in this game. So, yeah, I think this is a really good game. It's chalky as heck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or 7 guys are going to be over 20 plus, right around 20% or more. Capped off with Mobley, who's going to borderline 50% in some tournaments tonight. So it's a good game. It's definitely a game I want to focus on. Garland. So Indiana, as bad as they've been, they're a weird funnel on defense. They really restrict things from the outside and they give up everything in the middle. So it's not an easy matchup for Garland, but anytime you take Mitchell off the court, Garland's going to thrive. His usage goes up. It leads to more fantasy points, just more assists, more points, period. So, Garland's in a good spot, obviously. Garland's he's got a great price tag on FanDuel especially. It's phenomenal. It's good on both sides. It's really good on FanDuel. So he's in there. Mobley is a little bit more owned, going to be a little bit more owned tonight, a lot more owned, but it comes – for good reason, though, to be honest with you. I just said it's kind of an inside funnel on Indiana, and so you're going to get Mobley's going to be able to work on the inside, and they're also a really poor rebounding team. So Mobley and Jared Allen are going to get busy on the boards. Allen gets a slight bump for the matchup, and he gets a slight bump for Mitchell being out. It doesn't matter a whole lot to him, but just maybe a couple more, plays in his direction. Mobley's going to get the bigger boost and then the rebounds too. So Mobley's a phenomenal play. If you wanted to go Craig Porter, he's cheap enough. Mitchell's out. You could do that, but I don't know if that's the route I want to go. But Siakam is a good play to run back. He's a great play to run back. Actually, it's a very good game stack in general. Period. I think Nembhard's in play. I think Naismith is definitely in play here in this matchup. I don't know if you wanted to go to TJ McConnell, Mathurin's out, and he definitely has a path here in that circumstance. And so there's plenty of guys you could run back. But, Mobley versus Siakam just feels like a great way to start a lineup for GPPs. I love running the number one player on each side back at each other. It's a good way to start.
Looking at the ownership stuff, you're right. There's a lot. This game's going to be pretty popular. Looking at DK, Mobley currently over 40%, Garland at 33%, Naismith at 30%, Pascal at 29%. Some of the fringe guys, Porter at 23% at 24 minutes. Micah Potter, you got Porter and Potter. Potter, we're presuming, is going to start here for Indiana. You know, it's similar to that Boston Celtic trying to figure out the fifth guy for Boston, trying to figure out the fifth guy for the Pacers. It's fragile. But if he plays 28 minutes, you tell me Potter's playing 28 minutes, I'm in. I don't know for sure he's going to play 28. He played a lot last game. He's over a fantasy point per minute. So he's certainly in the conversation of cheapies, to help make stuff work. TJ McConnell, that is 18% on FanDuel, very similar as well. Garland, you mentioned it, really good over there at 6'8", 45% though. 45% he's going to be super popular. Mobley at 40%, Pascal 32%. I do like the idea of running Mobley and Pascal together. Naismith 27%, Nembhard 23%. And we have our if-then. If we don't see Jalen Tyson is officially questionable, we'll know this. If we don't know this, Crunch Time's going to know it because this is a 7:00 game. Boosts, really not one. I guess like Hunter gets a little bit of a boost. Merrill gets a little bit of a boost. Craig Porter, slight boost, but minutes-wise, basically the same. I was trying to see if there's one person that kind of jumps up. Tomlin, but I don't think we're playing Tomlin either way. I don't think I am. Lonzo Ball, we're currently projecting for 12 minutes, and that isn't changing as of this current projection. I figured somebody would be a little bit more appealing, incremental bumps. But do you have anything that you'd be more excited about in Cleveland that's worth noting? I think it's just a little bit to Hunter, a little bit to Porter, a little bit to Merrill, but I don't know if it's going to make or break them.
No, I am where I am on Cleveland. I am where I am. I don't think it's. I'm gonna see how the salaries play out, but I don't think it's far fetched to play Garland, Mobley, and Allen. And I just think the inside matchup is really good here for the two bigs. So I think that's where I am. I actually don't think I want very many of the too much if any of the fringe players for Cleveland.
Yeah, Don Uzzi mentioning Wade in the chat. Like he's going to get a slight bump as well. It's just he's not a good fantasy point per minute player, but he's somebody I guess that can be in your pool if you're running 150. But I just have a hard time getting excited about Dean Wade. And what is Dean Wade's usage on the season? 11%. I'm excited about that. I know he can get there through. He can hit a 3. He can, he's a decent stock guy, grab some boards, but just what is his ceiling? And I don't know how much I need that salary as a savings, but sure, in the pool, I guess. Let's see. What are we talking about here in the chat? No way he was saying hello to T Wade. I was talking about Dean Wade. But shout out to T Wade. By the way, there's more accusations in the chat. You're stirring things up here, Chop. The people are convinced that some sort of shenanigans is going on, as far as Television Tuesday. You know what we should do? We should ask Mr. Predicto if Steve is the mole. Should we do that? Let's fire up Mr. Predicto. We got to turn it on.
Do it.
Accuracy rate is like 50%, give or take. So take it for what it's worth, grain of salt. But yeah, let's fire up Mr. Predicto. Hold on. Is Steve the mole? Is producer Steve a mole?
There is no doubt.
What?
There you go.
That's crazy.
There it is. Mr. Predicto has spoken.
So hear me out, Dean.
Yeah.
How much does one of these RG subs for the month cost that we're giving away?
Jeez.
It's probably a pretty penny.
Close
it's
to
probably
$100.
a pretty.
I'm not sure, but
yeah, it's probably a pretty. So what if there's a racket where, and Steve, respectfully, Steve, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just throwing out hypotheticals here. Hypothetical, Steve's got a new kid. He needs some Similac, some baby formula, maybe some diapers. And all of a sudden, some guys come to him. Hey, Steve-O, you can get us that clue. You can get us those clues ahead of time. here's a 20 piece for you. Here's a 20 spot for you. That'll go a long ways towards diapers for the month. You know, who knows? You just
his dignity's worth $20.
You do that once every 3 weeks or so. You're paying for your Similac for the month, and you know you got some good things. Like, hey, look, people did it at McDonald's in the Monopoly game, so it can be done. You're like,
that was the Mafia, right?
People are. No, that was. I don't think that was the Mafia, was it?
There was a documentary on HBO.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it was the guy inside. It was an inside job.
Yeah, but I thought somehow it was not that I'm making. I would never make any accusations. Allegedly, I feel like that's how it turned out in the show. Didn't they say it was Mafia linked? Didn't a lot of people went to jail on this?
I'm not risking getting fired by giving out a clue for $20.
Maybe you didn't give it out. Maybe you're just like, here's the clues. Sitting on my desk. I'm going to go to the bathroom now. If anybody comes by my desk, don't look at these clues right here. If you know what I mean, Steve.
We don't have enough people in the Discord. We only had 9 people guess. You know, of course, the people are going to win over and over. The other thing with Hoosiers who won today, he gets help from his mom. He's got a team. So
yeah.
He explained how he got his answer in the Discord. I mean, I don't even know that show, but I don't know.
We'll play it out just for fun.
I don't even know the answer, but I'd like to know the answer.
You'll know it's soon enough. Let's jump. Well, let's give the second clue just for fun, since we're here now. But yeah, people say the clues are so hard, yet we always have people guess them. We always get winners. The second clue, Chop, is bull. Bull was the second clue. So tail and bull. That is the first 2 clues. The Magic are taking on the Wizards. Magic always there's some kind of game you can call it, right? Magic versus Wizards. The Harry Potter game. 234.5 is the total. The Wizards are 8-point dogs here. There it is. Look at that. Producer Steve was all over it. He beat me to it. Who's in and who's out for the Magic? Well, nothing really new here. All the Wagners, Mo, Moritz, Franz, they're all out, as is Jalen Suggs. Standard. This has been like this for a while. Keshawn George is still out for the Wiz, and Kispert's out with his hamstring. Whitmore still out as well. Anybody in the front end of a back-to-back? Yes, Orlando is in the front end of a back-to-back here, Chop. How are we feeling about the Magic and the Wizards tonight?
So the Wizards are not that intriguing to me. They just don't. I think Orlando's a bit of a tougher matchup. Kind of don't want to mess with the Wizards, so I'm going to get that out of the way. But Orlando is a good match. First of all, Jalen Suggs better watch out. He might get Wally pipped here, man.
Black?
He's playing good, man. Anthony Black's playing good. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Former lottery pick? I think he was a lottery pick.
Yeah, he was. Came out after a year, I think, at Arkansas. He's been impressive, so I give him credit for that. But as far as Orlando is concerned, against this Washington team, it's just an elite matchup everywhere. They give up a lot of rebounds, so your bigs are going to get rebounds. They give up points in the paint, so Wendell Carter's in the mix. They give up a lot of three-point shots. They don't defend the line very well. Give up a high percentage from the three-point range. Everything you could kind of want is what they do, So they give up everything. They stink. So take your pick. I don't know how many of these kind of higher-priced Orlando Magic players you want to shove in there, but Banchero, a great spend up. Desmond Bane, a great mid-tier play. Anthony Black, a great mid-tier play. Like, they're all really good tonight. So, and then even Wendell Carter Jr., if you really wanted to with this matchup, his ownership is a little bit off-putting to me. That's the only thing about Wendell Carter. But the rest of these guys, Bane at, roughly somewhere between 25 and 30% is where he should fall on DraftKings. I'm fine with that. Banchero's even lower than that, and Black's even lower than that. So I'm good with the big 3 right there for Orlando. Any way you want to shove them in there. I don't think I'd play all 3 of them in the same lineup, but 2 out of 3 is not. That's like it's the meatloaf. The meatloaf. Sure. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. That's a reference that what percent of our chat gets that reference? I got it though. You Meat Life guy back in the day? Not really.
I was not, but then
That Out of Hell?
Yeah, somebody played that like one time back. I never even hardly heard of Meatloaf, I don't think, until I got to Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches, Texas.
Okay.
And I was in the dorm for 1 year. The first year I was there, I was stuck in the dorm because that was the rules back then. And somebody played it, man, and I was like, hey, that's not he was a Meatloaf guy, and he played it, and I was like, hey, that's pretty damn badass, man. So that was the one album I could listen to from him, and that's about it.
I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. I feel like that's just probably
that was a good one. Yeah. Good one.
And yeah, he was in Fight Club as well. Shout out to Meatloaf in Fight Club. All right. Just taking a peek at ownership stuff. The thing with Banchero is 10-4 on FanDuel. It's really hard to pay off that salary, I think. 9-2 is easier, of course, on DK. I like Bane a good bit too. 7-9 on DK, perfectly fine. And the question about Black, by the way, 6th pick overall. Shout out to Steve letting us know. I didn't realize he was that high. I knew he was a lottery guy. 6th pick overall out of Arkansas. Is there still is this the peak of his asking price for Black? 7-5 on DK. Is there meat in that bone? 7-7 on FanDuel. We got to get somewhere in the 40s. He can do it. Yeah. Is that still a decent price? Still fair enough?
Yeah, I mean it's in the upper range, that's for sure. But you have to pay for when a guy's been producing like that. We're $2,000 above where he was about 6 weeks ago, but like in the last 10 days or so, he's dropped a couple of 60-point games against Denver and in Indiana, and a whole bunch of 30s, mid-30s sprinkled in. He's solid. He's earned it. If he's any lower, he'd be 40% owned in this matchup. So it's high range, but that's just driving down the ownership.
I was curious. What is Stephen F. Austin? What are they called? What's their nickname? I don't know. I
want to say it's been a long time, Dean, but I want to say they were it might have been the Lumberjacks because it's a forestry school. It's a forestry school.
Oh, I thought you went there. That you just visited.
I did. No. I went there.
You can't remember the name of the nickname of the school.
Oh, it was either the Lumberjacks or the Jackrabbits, but I think it was the Lumberjacks. I think it's been a while, man. About 20 years. I didn't graduate from there, and I barely went to class. I was just there. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
I was just there. But there was the Lumberjacks because they were a big forestry school because everything around the campus is all woods and stuff. And yeah,
you had a good time though. Their first that semester was a lot of fun, I'm sure.
They were when I went there, they were in like Playboy for being one of the top party schools. Yeah, it was.
Arizona State, I feel like, is always in that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's like kind of it's on the Mount Rushmore, but the Lumberjacks is what I'm seeing, according to the Google. All right, anything else of note as far as Orlando and Washington?
Moving on down the road.
Okay, again, 5 games in total. Those are the only 2 games at 7:00, and we have an hour break and 3 games in the 8:00 block. We're dropping the last game on the slate. We're not even going to talk about it. The back half of the Peacock doubleheader. There's Dallas and Sacramento. Have my eye on the socials, trying to find some news when it comes to Ant. Did not get it. We'll see. Maybe we get an update on that. It is a Peacock game, so maybe that influences him to play or not. Maybe he's legit hurt. Who knows? Also, Wemby, who did practice this morning, so we shall see. But he's also currently questionable. It's the first game we're going to talk about. The Spurs and the Grizz, 238.5. That is the total. San Antonio is a 6-point favorite here on the road. I think Wemby plays. I'm expecting Wemby to play here in Memphis. Let's just clean up the rest of the injury report. Basically, it's just Wemby. Devin Vassell is out for San Antonio as well. For Memphis, well, they always have a bunch of dudes. We're assuming that John Morant's not going to play. Midday downgrade to doubtful, not officially out. Front end of a back-to-back. Edie's still out. Konchar's still out. Vince Williams, we've not seen him 3 weeks or so. He's probable. So with tendonitis, we're expecting him to play. How much? Who knows? Brandon Clark, he's came back for a cup of coffee and he was gone pretty quickly with his injury, unfortunately. Cedric Coward, that's a big one. Coward is out with his ankle for the Grizz. We're projecting Spencer, Wells, G.G. Jackson, Triple J, Jaren Jackson, and Jock Landale to start for Memphis. I think there's a chance that we see Santi Aldama start, just a chance. I'm really curious what they do with Vince Williams. It's just, and that is sort of linked to Cam Spencer because he can be a ball handler for them. Because Cam Spencer, last I saw, unless the projections have changed, He was projecting really well. Let's see. We're giving him 33 minutes. I think he's much better on FanDuel, right? 6-1 on DK. Not that you can't play him on DK, but he's 6-1 on DK. And on FanDuel, he is 5-5. Yeah, 5-5 looks really good, especially assuming he starts 33 minutes. Looks like a cash game staple on FanDuel. You tell me. Memphis, Spurs, what do you got?
Little known fact, Dean.
Okay.
Stephen F. Austin's where I first started to really get into the gambling.
Yeah.
I had a bookie. That was when I first but I had always kind of grown up around it, but went off to college and got a bookie right away, man. It was weird. It was crazy. Fun times, Dean. His name was, I'm not going to say his first name, but his last name, he was in a fraternity. His name was Funderburk.
Did he have anything to do with the McDonald's scam?
No, but it was, I just remember him specifically. It was Thomas Funderburk or something like that.
Tough scene for bookies, right? Tough scene these days.
But his fraternity guys nicknamed him not Funderburk. His name was Funderburk. His fraternity guys nicknamed him Thunderfuck. I always found that fun. I always found that hilarious.
Wasn't there like a Lawrence Funderburk or something like that?
An NBA player, yeah.
Yeah. Was it Lawrence? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, it was Lawrence for sure.
Maybe were they related? I don't know.
I don't know because he was not of African American descent.
All right, fair
Mr.
enough.
Funderburk, but yeah, we had good times there, man. But where are we at? Spurs. We're at the Spurs. Not much ownership in this game. I think you could take some shots in GPP if you really wanted to. Aldama in GPP is fine. Not a lot of ownership. Everybody's under 15%, even the highest owned guys. So you could take that. But we'll see what Wemby. Do we got word on Wemby since the show started? We don't know what Wemby's going to do.
We're assuming him in unless otherwise noted. It is the front end back to back for them for what it's worth.
That kind of takes a lot of stuff off the board for San Antonio. Maybe you could go with Julian Bubbles. He's getting a little bit less than 50. Yeah, he's had some big games recently. He's only 5,300 in Memphis. Stinks. So give him a shot, but really I'm not that interested in this game, but you could take some pieces to it like Aldama or something like that if you really wanted to twist my arm.
So if you want to tell a story, and we don't know this, we might not know this until after the first two games lock. Wemby's officially questionable. They play the Grizz. Tomorrow night, they're at home on ESPN versus the Lakers. Does he play both games? If he only plays one, he probably plays tomorrow, right?
Oof. Well, I don't know that means anything anymore.
No.
Who are
it does ESPN.
Well, they didn't to Peacock last night. They kind of stiffed Peacock, didn't they? With the Nuggets.
Denver said, "Screw you, Peacock."
So I don't know that matters to these guys anymore. There's so many. Everybody's got a station now, and
Adam Silver ain't happy. Look, they're not getting their way, but he's pissed. They hate it.
Yeah, but nothing you can do about it. So
they're trying.
I don't know. Let's see. It's Memphis or the Lakers. I think that would have the bigger Memphis, you could probably beat without Wemby. Lakers might be a little tougher. Lakers seem like they're going to be a little bit more of a competition for a top 4 spot in the Western Conference, even though I don't think they are. So maybe that's the story you tell. But yeah, I don't know. I could see that.
Our if-then, by the way, we have an if-then set up if we happen to lose Wemby. Trying to see who would be one of the bigger benefactors. Luke Cornett would jump into 28 minutes, about a 29 DK projection, 31 on FanDuel. Castle and Fox will get a little better as far as their rates. Fox would project at around 45 DK FanDuel, Castle 45, 43 DK FanDuel respectively. So both those guys would look really good if we happen to lose Wemby. And I don't know if Wemby plays, right? It's the same old story where we're giving him 26 minutes and I guess you can play him. You can tell yourself the story that he gets 7 blocks or something, but he's not projecting great, doesn't play enough. He's still a little too expensive. And him being on the court kind of hurts everybody else. So the Spurs on the whole are not that appealing. We're giving 15% to Tim Penny, like you mentioned. 31 minutes is a lot of minutes. If he gets 31, that's I feel pretty good about that. Fox, 11%, Castle 9%, but nobody projecting well for the reasons of, Wemby being projected in and just kind of taking off of everybody else. What do we have as far as Memphis and Spencer? Because, do we anticipate him playing 33 minutes and starting? If he does, I think he's really interesting. Aldama, even if he comes off the bench, I think he's in play for tournaments. We're giving him 30 minutes. Triple J, I know it's not been a great season for him. 8K on DK just seems too expensive. He's just one of those guys. He's like Justin Jefferson, just too expensive all season long, essentially. Has not got there enough to justify that price. How do you feel about the Grizz? I need a Spencer take, John.
So everything about the Grizzlies, to me, is dependent on Wembanyama also, not just the Spurs. He's not just, my Spurs takes aren't just isolated to Wembanyama. It's when he's in there, that defense for San Antonio is just a lot better. It's one of the best in the NBA. So I don't have much interest in Memphis if he plays. Now, if he's out, I love Cam Spencer. I do love the price tag on Cam Spencer. If Wembanyama's out and he can't control that entire mid-range region, which he does with all that length, yeah, I could definitely play Cam Spencer for sure. But it's all dependent on Wembanyama. So I can't commit to any of that right now, Dean, without knowing the facts.
Yeah, but like you're not open to playing anybody in Memphis if we have.
If Wemby's in there, no. If Wemby's in there, I won't.
Interesting.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, because we've got so many spots here. My roster spots are so valuable tonight because of the Cleveland news, Mitchell being out, and then Washington's on the slate, so we can stack Orlando guys. And we're going to talk about another big time game here in a minute. My roster spots are too valuable to take some shots against a very good defensive team, that being the Wembanyama-led Spurs. Wemby-less-led Spurs can be something, and maybe that's a different story.
Chopper still playing out television Tuesday for fun. The first two clues, tail and bull. Chop, the third clue.
Give it to me.
Chop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I was having fun with that.
Tail,
yeah.
bull.
We didn't get there. No fun because, we got a bull in the ranks. But
sad.
According to Mr. Predicto, at least 50-50, 50% accuracy. Tail, bull, and chop. We're still playing it out for fun. I'll give you the fourth clue too, since it's already been determined. Fortune. Tail, bull, chop, and fortune. Anything else here as far as Memphis and the Spurs?
No.
All right. My Heat are in Minnesota, front half of the Peacock doubleheader, 237.5. That's the total. Miami is a 3.5-point dog here. It seems legit 50-50. You want to ask Mr. Predicto if Ant's going to play tonight? Maybe that'll help. He's currently questionable with his foot. That's it. Everybody else is healthy. Well, Terrence Shannon's out, but that doesn't really matter. He's got his foot. Miami, Jovic is he's got a groin, but he's going to play with it. He's good to go tonight, as is Pelle Larson. He's also available with his ankle. Jaime Jaquez, Juan Wick is out with his ankle. Bam Adebayo good to go with his back. Tyler Hero, he's got that big toe. He's expected to play. Very strange situation last time where he was ruled in and available, but they said he's not going to play. But they said he was in. I don't like they told you before the game. He's available to play, but he's not going to play. But we think he's going to play tonight for Miami. How many minutes are we giving Hero? I assume we're giving him a little bit of a hit when it comes to his minutes. I know when he came back the first time, he played more minutes than expected, almost 30 minutes. We're giving him 25 minutes for what it's worth there, and kind of mucking stuff up a little bit for the Heat. Chop. And again, a lot of this is dependent upon Edwards. Is Edwards going to play? Is he not going to play? Any sort of like 50-50 calls, I'd probably push to the 8 o'clock slate to give myself some flexibility if dominoes fall a certain way. But Heat, T-Wolves, what do you got?
So who's going to play with their groin?
Oh, Jovic. Yeah.
Jovic?
Yeah.
Okay, he's playing. Yeah, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's going to do any good at basketball. He's just playing with his groin all day.
It's pretty he can dribble, too, at the same time. It's pretty impressive.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And we talk about Miami all the time here, Dean, being a pace-up team, all that good stuff this year. So, if if Edwards is in, I guess Edwards is okay, and some of these other guys are okay because you're getting that extra pace here. But if Edwards is out, I'd be a lot more, I'd feel a lot better about some of these Minnesota players, especially like Julius Randle, for sure, and Dante DiVincenzo. I'd feel real good about those guys in this matchup, but it's all going to depend on Edwards. If Edwards is in, it kind of neuters a lot of that good stuff. And Edwards is fine. And Randall's probably still okay in this matchup, but just not as good. On the flip side over there, Bam is fine. GPP play for sure. And Norman Powell's been great, on fire this year, on fire lately especially. So
All-star? He wants to be an all-star.
No,
I don't think
he's really good. And but the NBA is just so hard to make an all-star roster, man.
Yeah.
Because the guys who have kind of like it's so the fans get into like the same old, and then the other people who vote are going with the same old names and stuff, even though they probably don't deserve it. So it's hard for a guy like Norman Powell to squeeze in, but the numbers are good. He's been really good for this team, so
yeah,
that's fine. But as far as so Powell's in play for sure. Bam, maybe in GPPs probably, and then Minnesota. I got to wait on Edwards. If Edwards is in, Edwards is okay, and Randall's okay, and DiVincenzo's fair. And if Edwards is out, then all of a sudden Randall gets a nice boost, and DiVincenzo gets a nice boost, and Jaden McDaniels becomes a guy I can play, and even Rudy Gobert becomes a guy I can play. But
he's been good of late, Rudy.
It's going to depend on it's going to depend on Edwards for sure. Oh, Dean, by the way, Dean.
Yeah.
Last night, man, my goodness, Dean. Can you believe those results last? OKC got beat by like 30 at home to Charlotte. And then to cap it off, these Nuggets who don't have anybody playing go in and win in Philly. What a crazy – I mean, if you were betting money lines last night, NBA, buddy, I feel sorry for you.
What was the Denver-Charlotte exacta box? What did that
Oh, man, I bet that was a monster, but I just couldn't believe those results last night. Just the NBA is crazy like that sometimes.
I didn't get the Zeke Naji. Did you get the Zeke Naji?
I did, man, because on FanDuel I was looking at both my line, one on DraftKings, one on FanDuel, and I had Strawther in both, and I was like, no, I don't like that. Let's get rid of Strawther on FanDuel and put Najee in there. I don't want Strawther. Strawther's not that guy to be doubling down on. So I got to Najee on FanDuel.
I did.
But I had freaking Cat. I had Karl Anthony Towns and his 3 points last night.
What did he score? Like 10 fantasy points or something?
2.7 on FanDuel.
Wait, that was in total? I saw it was like 5 or so in the first half.
2.7. I think he came out after the first or after his second stint on the floor. Terrible. He came back out, turned the ball over 2 times, and like never played the rest of the night or something crazy like that. He ended up with 2.7.
Didn't he have an illness a couple of games ago? You think is that lingering, or it was just an absolute floor game? That was terrible. You just never see that from somebody like that's. You don't see that in basketball.
Not supposed to.
That was just really, really gross. I did need that extra 5 minutes to get over on my Embiid prop for rebounds, so we were happy to see that game go overtime. That bailed me out for the night. We hit an underdog, a nice little parlay. Okay, so I do want to mention if Ant's not playing, Randall gets a 3.7% boost in usage, 1.39 fantasy points per minute, which is really strong. I might just build a Randall in, assuming I think Randall's fine either way. But if we lose Ant, I think Randall becomes a pretty awesome play, and he might be somebody I build around. I like Nas as well. Probably one of these guys in Minnesota. McDaniels is fine as far as a usage boost as well. Gobert gets a 2% usage boost. Really, really meaningful. I was looking at the if-then stuff. Our best player when it comes to DK value and FanDuel value is Julius Randle. He'll be a positive value. 44 DK median projection if we lose Ant. 43 on FanDuel. Bones Highland becomes a potential cheapie, assuming he plays 23 minutes. I'm not sure how excited I am about that, but we like the matchup versus Miami in general. Jaden McDaniels, all these guys get bumped up. Dante DiVincenzo would look pretty good. Conley might start, but I don't think I care. I don't think I'm playing Mike Conley. I didn't even look at his price. Is he like 3K? 3.5? He's 3.2. I mean, maybe. I don't want to play Mike Conley, right? We're not playing Mike Conley. I don't think so.
No.
If we lose 8, obviously, is what I'm talking about here.
I could get. There's no way I'm taking up a roster spot with Mike Conley, even if Ant-Man is out. I would even if Edwards was out, I would rather roster Craig Porter than Mike Conley for cheap.
Yeah, well, Porter's like $1K more expensive, but I do
No,
agree.
he's only like 400 more expensive.
Oh, is he 3.8?
I think he's 3.6.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of FanDuel. I think where he's 4.1. Yeah. And Nas becomes even though he's not on a positive value, I think he's really good for tournaments. For Miami, I don't really love anybody. I don't really love Bam tonight. Nothing really jumps out for me on Miami. I know Hawkes is out, but just kind of not enough. Hero's back. I don't think the price is if anybody, it's Powell for me. You know, he can get going. He can hit 6 or 7 threes, get that 3-point bonus on DK. You know, 7-1's a pretty fair price. But I don't really love the Heat tonight, just in general. They're one of my least favorite teams. It sounds like that's who you're at as well. Chop?
I mean, Powell and Bam are nightly figures, you know, and that's about it. But yeah, I agree. Agreed.
Derek and Chad's talking about Ja and Ant are out. We're assuming that Ja's out for what it's worth. He's officially doubtful, a midday downgrade to doubtful. So unless otherwise noted, I suppose he could play. But these things usually go from doubtful to out. Lord King Guru mentioning Pele Larson. You know, he's 23 minutes. That's what we're giving him. And a lot of Larson is just like, is he playing well? If he's playing well, he'll stick around and play a bit longer. You know, is Jovic playing well? You know, to steal, more minutes. Drew Smith is another guy that can get hot off the bench and steal some extra minutes. It's just kind of a fluid situation, but I have a hard time getting excited over Larson, although they did burn me a couple weeks ago when he had multiple games where he just went nuts starting, and I just kept saying, nah. And you basically needed Larson to win the slate. Anything else here as far as Miami and Minnesota?
Moving on.
Fifth clue, Chop. We did get a winner, but we'll play it out. We made the board, so let's give the people the clues. It's tail, bull, chop, fortune, and bear. Tail, bull, chop, fortune, bear. That is the 5 clues for today's Television Tuesday. But again, we already had a winner. No fun today. Peterman 79 took down a week free of RG Premium by binking it in one. The last game also at 8 o'clock. Again, 3-pronged hammer for the slates. 2 early, 3 late. Lakers, Pels, 244.5. That's the total. It's high and tight, fairly tight. Lakers 5.5-point favorites here in New Orleans. Some stuff still left up in the air. Well, Gabe Vincent midday downgrade to doubtful, so we're assuming he's out. Hachimura Rui's not playing basketball. He's got that calf. Austin Reeves also with a calf. He's out. As far as the Pels, Sadiq Bey, he's got a hip flexor, so he's not playing basketball. Herb Jones, this is the front end of a back-to-back for New Orleans and the Lakers. Both these teams front end of a back-to-back. Herb is questionable. Probably plays one of the two. Is he playing tonight or tomorrow? I don't know. Pelicans, Lakers. You got all the salary in the world, raw points. Luka is the clear best raw points play on the slates. Are we finding the salary? Are we making room for Luka?
I think it would behoove you to maybe try to do that if you want to. I don't mind that build at all. So Luka's going to get, all those guys being out. He's already a great player, and then you enter all these guys being out. So, he becomes an even better player. I think you can probably get it done. So, but I would counterpoint that by saying this isn't like last night's slate. Guys were out last night, but it opened up a bunch of guys under 4K for the Nuggets. Like the guys tonight who we're looking at as good values are actually like in the 7, like it's Mobley and Garland and guys like that who are priced in the 7K range, so it's not the same kind of value tonight. So it's a little bit harder, but if you can get to him against New Orleans, absolutely. These are probably the best matchup team versus team on the slate. Both these defenses are pretty bad, man. Like the Lakers, New Orleans defense, you can like take advantage of them in the paint on the inside. They also give up the 3-point line pretty good. The Lakers defense, when LeBron plays, is really not good. So you can definitely take advantage of them. Jake LaRavia is going to be your most owned guy in this game, probably for good reason. With all those guys out, I remember I called this guy, man. I called this guy on the show a couple months ago, Dean. I was like, this LaRavia kid, He's not bad. He's got, I've seen him. He stuffed the stat sheet, at Wake Forest. He's pretty good, man. So
did you see the clip of Ant Edwards? Like who was this? He had no idea who Jake LaRivia was.
Sure,
He's like,
he knows now, man. But he can stuff the stat sheet, and he's got all these guys out again. So he's certainly in the mix. LeBron, that's a tougher click for me tonight, or in general, that's a tougher click. I'm interested in some New Orleans guys here, though, Dean. I just don't think the Lakers have a very good defense. I think we can take advantage of it. GPP only is Zion Williamson. Outside chance. Outside of I think last game was kind of a blowout and it limited the minutes a little, but he's been starting and he's been getting upwards, climbing to that 30-minute mark. If we can get, push over that 30-minute mark for Zion in this matchup, I think he can take advantage of it. And I really like Trey Murphy tonight. I do like Trey Murphy tonight. And somebody mentioned in chat Jordan Poole against this Lakers defense. Sure, absolutely. Fire up Jordan Poole if you want to, and I hope he's hitting the shots and he's going crazy. So I think there's definitely some pieces in this game in general that look good to me, man. Hoosiers hang banners in chat. Dean, the Hoosiers catch a big time break today. The Indiana Hoosiers, the number one running back for Oregon is out with a separated shoulder or a broken clavicle. Yeah, the guy. A minute left in the game, Dean. All they had to do was go down and take a knee. Game's over. Texas Tech out of timeouts. Nothing. The game's over. It's like a 2-possession game. It's over. It's done.
Yeah, I watched some of this game.
This idiot didn't take a knee. Coach Dan Lanning for Oregon instead tried to plow the ball in and score one extra touchdown for no reason when he didn't have to. Guy broke
style points in the tournament. Just move on.
Broke his clavicle on second to the last play of the game trying to do that. Now he's out for the rest of the playoffs. So Hoosiers hang banners. You catch a break, brother, because that guy's good, man.
And running backs matter in college, right?
Oh, I'll die on a hill saying, yeah, you can get away with it in the pros. You don't want to spend too much money on it. But running backs can absolutely carry you in college. It's just a different game.
Are we going to get an Indiana Hurricanes final? Is that happening?
We might, man.
Did that move the line at all as far as Oregon losing their running back?
I did not look, but
half a point, maybe a point.
I do know those are the two favorites for sure, and I'm not gonna chalk up Miami yet. I think they're in for a really tough matchup, but they definitely are the favorite there for sure.
That's wild. Indiana I don't know. I'm guessing they must have been like 100 to 1, 1,000 to 1.
No,
to start the season.
No.
They weren't 100 to 1 to start the season.
They were in the playoffs last year.
Okay.
They made big strides the last 2 years under this coach, but yeah, they made big strides. But I mean,
they got a lot of money too. Are they? Is that part of it?
They got some money. They got Mark Cuban there supporting them, but
okay, they don't have oil money.
Like what he does is, and this is the path which you have to go to if you don't have like LSU or Ohio State money or any of that. You have to be a good scout in addition to everything else, and you have to get the right players. Just like in the NFL, you got a budget to work with, and you can't just spend anything you want. You have a budget, so he's done that. And he's scouted well, and he's got the right players for the right price, good value on them, and they play discipline. They play good. They're not going to lose their defensive coordinator, Dean, but my God, this guy could go to the NFL right now and be very good in the NFL as a defensive coordinator. This Indiana Hoosiers guy, he does. His schemes are
money at the head coach, right? Like, is he?
His schemes are so good. Like, he could be a defensive coordinator in the NFL right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, Cignetti and Mendoza to the Raiders. Is that? Yeah, Pete Carroll's gone. Somebody's got to throw a boatload, I imagine. Who knows? I don't know what the situation is.
And Cignetti would bring his DC too, for sure. That'd be interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. Harbaugh's out there now for you, though.
Yeah. Do you want Harbaugh?
Would I want Harbaugh? Nah. I mean, he's a good, but if you're starting from the ground up like the Raiders or the Jets or somebody, absolutely, because he can at least he can build it. I mean, that guy won a Super Bowl, man.
I just want the retreads as a general thought, but yeah, I don't think he's toast. Like the Carroll thing was silly. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, how did you not know that was going to blow up in your face? Starting off the 70-year-old coach, whatever he is. I know he's a youthful 70. He's spry. I think he still surfs, but come on. That was never going to work out. We have crunch time coming in about 5 minutes or so here, Chop. Kyle, Kirkwood, Kevin Roth as well. We might have some questions, some time for some questions. I do want to tell you about today's TV Tuesday. Did you get the answer? Have you figured it out, Chop? We got all 5 clues there.
So I'm looking like Bull, Fortune, Bear. Sounds like it's a finance show. Now, there's several of them out there, Dean. One, and I don't think this is the answer, but one that I have watched is Industry on HBO. That's a good one if you haven't seen that one.
I've not
Industry.
seen it. It's British, right?
Not well. There's some British people in there, but no.
Okay.
It's interesting. But there was one on
show. Like you've definitely seen this show.
Showtime. Billions.
There it is, Chop. There it is. Showtime. Billions. Billions is the answer. Clue number 1 was Tail. Tail was in reference to one of the main characters, not the main character, but like the second or third main character. I guess the third main character. Nickname was Wags. Remember Wags?
Yeah.
Who was also in Breaking Bad.
Great character on Billions.
Chop was in reference to Bobby Axelrod. Axe Chop. That was the reference there. Bobby Axelrod, of course, was the Damian Lewis lead character. Bull was, like you said, for finances. It's a venture capitalist, stock markets. So Bull and Bear. Bull and Bear. I figured somebody put that together. And Fortune, Fortune, Billions, Fortune. You got a fortune, you got billions. If you have billions, you have a fortune. And the answer is billions. One of those shows that did not finish. It's one of those. I feel like nobody finished that show. Like it went like 3 seasons too long. I tapped out after like 5 years.
You didn't finish it?
No.
I finished it. Yeah, you got to power through once you've seen about 3 or 4 seasons. You got to power through when you know there's going to be an end in sight. And the ending wasn't bad. They sent everybody out the way they should have. It was good. They had some good dollar bill. That was a good character.
Dan Soder was he Dollar Bill? No, he was in the show. He was in the main cast as well. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just at a certain point I just didn't care. And then what's his name? Damian Lewis left, which I think was obviously a big downgrade to the show. He came back?
Yeah, came back. He came back. Oh, you didn't see the end, Dean. You didn't see how. I don't want to give you no spoilers for the end, but yeah, came back, and I don't want to give no spoilers.
Random in chat is saying the Hoosiers were roughly 101 to win the championship at the beginning of the season.
Were they? No, good for them. Somebody's making some bank.
If you got that ticket, man, good luck. Derek here's a question for you, Chop. 5,300 for utility. Already have Naismith for tournaments. Who's your favorite 5,300 or less play in the utility spots? You have all the positions available to you. Just no Naismith. You can't get the Laravia. Your guy Champagne's 5-3. Wells is in play on Memphis.
Oh God, Wells, man, he torched me the other night with a terrible game. I don't. You know what? If Wemby were to sit, I would think Landale would be interesting.
Yeah, I think he's still fine as is, but yeah, obviously you prefer Cornet's there too at 5-1. Would you like Cornet?
He's interesting too if Wemby sits, and so Neesmith's already been taken. Neesmith would definitely be the top. Maybe you save the 900, play McConnell, and see if you can upgrade that 900 somewhere else on your roster because it might be McConnell in this matchup.
3 favorite FanDuel single entry plays from Rhino. You got 3 for me. 3 of your favorite plays single entry on FanDuel, which I think you're probably playing one lineup. That's typically what you do. Who are your 3 favorite single entry plays on FanDuel?
Oh man. I'm gonna go with double down on that first game, which we talked about that I really like. I'm gonna go Siakam, and I'm gonna go Mobley, and then I'm gonna probably come back and save a little money. Man, I'll go Laravia for you.
All right. Any other questions here? Yeah, typically we leave the questions, of course, for crunch time. They're knocking on the door. They'll be here shortly. It's Kirkwood, Murray. What do you got?
Puppet Master says, Dean, Apocalypto is now on Peacock.
All right.
Dean, we do a show on Thursday, Dean, of crunch time.
You're giving me homework?
I'd love for you to come back. But now you got to set aside the 2 hours, and you can't, pause it and do other things. You have to focus because there's subtitles and they matter. But it's well worth your time, man.
Jalen Tyson officially in. He was ill. He's expected to play. Jared Allen's good to go officially in with his illness. And Dean Wade also available. So if you're expecting some sort of a additional Cleveland value, it's not happening. Jalen Tyson officially in. We're still waiting for Wemby, who's questionable. We're still waiting for Ant. Although we did get the note that he is practicing. Where's the notes I saw? Herb is going through pregame warmups as per usual. That's Herb Jones. And Edwards going through pregame warmups as per his usual time. So I think that means it's more likely he's going to play, but nothing official there, but suggesting he's going to play. Tomorrow night, Hartenstein is out for the Thunder. Chop, who's breaking the slate? Who's our slate breaker? Who's the Plums play?
Man, Dean, I just back and forth on this one. Like, Larabia was great, but he's a little bit too much on the ownership side for me to recommend here. I obviously love the two big guys from or the big two, Garland and Mobley from Cleveland, but again, ownership. So then I was thinking maybe lesser owned, go Jared Allen, but he can burn me. Yeah, that guy can burn you. So I'm not going to go with any of those. And I was hoping Herb Jones was out tonight, but doesn't matter.
He still might be, but yeah.
I'm still going to roll Trey Murphy tonight in the matchup against the Lakers. I love Trey Murphy's game. I love his fantasy. My man Chopperhead loves a little Trey Murphy, that versatility. So we're going Trey Murphy tonight. Let's bust open these Lakers. They stink.
All right, let's do it. Let's seamlessly transition to crunch time. It is Roth and Kirkwood and Kyle Murray. Crunch time right now. What's up, boys? Roth, taking the sip, right? I was going to ask you a question.
Bring it on.
Now I lost my question. I don't know. But how are things? How was Tuesday treating you, Roth? Everything good?
It's good. I've been fighting with a bunch of Dave Ramsey slappies all day long.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that going?
I'm not sure if I'm winning or losing, but I'm still in the fight. I don't know if you saw the video. He said FanDuel is a portal to hell.
Oh.
And it's an evil company and all this. And I just pointed out I have contributed $100 10 years ago to DraftKings.
Okay.
And now I have $160. Like, it doesn't have to be a portal to hell. You are allowed to gamble responsibly. Some people can choose that option. And did that fire people up?
So
Some
hold on
people
a second.
can't help it.
Wait, I just want to. You deposited one time 10 years ago on DraftKings?
Yeah.
And that's
it
your
turns
only
out
deposit ever?
Yeah, it turns out it was $144. I thought it was just $100. You can look this up. I didn't realize you could even look it up. And I'm just rolling with my original money, my $1 and $2 bets every other night.
You're up $16 like for the last 10 years, right. And you got fun.
Right.
It's entertainment.
Cash out. What's the goal? What's the goal? What's the cash out?
There's no goal. I don't give a shit. There is no goal. That's, and if I can occasionally drop like $10 on a milli ticket and pretend I might win $1 million, more fun, but I don't know. I just don't think it has to be a portal to hell. That was all.
It's better than the lottery, any sense of the world. Like, people need to realize that, like, state-sponsored lotteries, and yes, some of that money goes to the public or whatever, you get that, but gambling is way better than that. Like, with
1 in 360 million chance of winning the Powerball.
Yeah.
You tell me
that bought a bottle could have struck the lotto. You know what I mean? Anyone know that?
Yeah.
Kyle, you got a reaction out of Kyle. I think he knew what you're laying down. It sounded like, at least. Yeah, it could have been. Well, I don't want to be. It's too soon, right? $100,000, $16. It could have been, Ralph. If could have been. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I could have been. Yeah, could have been really good.
Kyle, how are things? We're all good.
Yeah, all good. Should be a fun slate to talk about today. I'm looking forward to it.
You guys got a 5-gamer. Still waiting on news for Edwards. They did say he's warming up as per usual. Wemby, questionable as well. Both those guys playing in the later block. That's 2 games early, 7 o'clock East Coast. And I got a break for the next 3 games. Just a 5-gamer tonight. Chop, anything else before we step aside and get out of here and make way for crunch time?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
That was Chopper. I was Dean. Hit that like button. Do subscribe. Turn on those notifications. You got 40 minutes of crunch time starting right now. Roth, it's all yours.
Let's do it. Welcome to it, ladies and gents. You know the drill. It's 2 of the sharpest minds in the industry. We're going to work you all the way up until lock and hopefully give out some winners along the way. We got Nasty Nas, a.k.a. Kirkdiese, in the house, dropping some bars and dropping some winners. What's up, man? How are you? Tell me what you got. And I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. How you doing, man?
Get up. We could go all day. I'm doing well. My finger stopped bleeding. I just want the people to know that. It still looks weird as hell. Like I might have to go see a doctor for it, but it is not bleeding.
Are you wearing? Can we see the finger? Can we check it out, or it's too gross?
It's too embarrassing. It's gross, but it's not gross enough. It's like if you guys are gonna like flame me for it.
Okay, yeah. There's really no upside if it's not. Yeah, that's true. If it's really gross, we're gonna
mystery is good enough. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fair. We got Kyle Murray in the house as well. Kyle, what's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. No complaints. I don't have any scary finger stories, but other than that, yeah, all good.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear it. We are here to prove to the people in Dave Ramsey's chat that we can win money playing FanDuel and DraftKings. That is the goal tonight. So I need you to make me a winner. Kyle, you feeling good about the slate?
Yeah, it's a good one. We have some news that a little bit of news we're waiting on, but we've gotten a lot of news already. I feel like with this new NBA injury report, we've been getting a lot of news early, which is nice. But yeah, it should be a pretty good one.
Okay. Well, very good. I've got my lineup 75% built, but I've got a couple holes in it still that I need help with at guard. So let's dive right into it. We like to start at DraftKings on point guard. And of course, if you can hit that thumbs up for us, please do so. Some people mentioned in the chat we don't have nearly enough likes. So smash the thumbs up for us. Kirkwood, walk us through your plans. DraftKings point guard.
Point guard is pretty interesting. There's a lot of different options here. I think the best option is Darius Garland. We've got Donovan Mitchell out, so we've got massive usage that goes to pretty much two players that we've seen in the past. It's Garland and Mobley. So at 7,200, he's just too cheap for that role in this matchup against the Pacers. So he would be number one. Now we always got to consider, we have value on this slate. It's not the greatest value in the world, but there's plenty of options to do it. So Luka, I would give a down tick a little bit with Herb Jones looking like he's coming back to play because he'll definitely guard Luka, which makes me, unfortunately, I never like him, but tonight I like LeBron. So old dusty LeBron is going to be in my lineup tonight, but and those are Kevin Roth's words from the last show I was on. So it's not my feelings. But anyways, so Luka is the top overall stud, if you can fit him, but he's pricey, 12.2 on DraftKings. The guy I like, well, Andrew Nembhard is an awesome play. Nothing wrong to say with him. Benny Matherin's out. Just takes that's pretty high usage that's out of the lineup for him. So it looks like a game where Nembhard's going to have to do more on the offensive end, and he's fully capable of doing that. And he's 6,800, so he's a really solid play. Then we've got a couple value guys. So we got Cam Spencer with Ja Morant looking like he's going to be out. People are talking about Vince Williams cutting into him a little bit. I don't think that's going to happen at all, so I'm not worried about that. So I'm on board with Cam. TJ McConnell, Tiny Hands Nation, stand up, Tiny Hands Nation, and we can do the double with Desmond Bane and the shooting guard. We can play them both tonight, so we can get small hands galore in our lineup tonight. But TJ McConnell is the smallest of them all, so he's a good play. CJ McCollum is an interesting play in the Washington-Orlando game. There's kind of like two really strong games, in my opinion. And like right off the bat, it's the Cleveland Pacers game and then Washington-Orlando. And Orlando being without Suggs is a much worse defensive team, and without Franz Wagner as well. So I have no faith that they're going to blow out Washington Wizards. So this game could be pretty juicy at the end of the night. Those are the guys. There's some more. I know one of Kyle's great calls of the season was Craig Porter Jr. one night. So I'll be interested to hear if he likes him on here. But those are my guys.
Okay, very good. A lot of options, Kyle. Maybe start with the Porter Jr. talk and walk me through the whole point guard.
Yeah, I do. I do, in fact, like Porter Jr. again in this one. I think he's even more interesting in lineups where maybe you're not using Darius Garland. Obviously, I think Garland is one of the better plays on the slate. But if you are looking to get a little bit contrarian, or maybe you are prioritizing Evan Mobley over Darius Garland, it might make some sense to give Craig Porter Jr. a bump in those non-Garland lineups. We have him for 24 minutes. I think 23 to 24 minutes is a pretty safe projection here for him. A good matchup against the Pacers too. So yeah, I do like him at 360. He's probably my favorite cheap play on the board. A lot of names that Kirk mentioned I can definitely agree with here. Cam Spencer, TJ McConnell, also like CJ McCollum I do like in this spot as well. He's seen a pretty solid usage bump with no Keyshawn George, and he gets more ball handling responsibility with George off the floor, so should see an increase in just touches in general, which will lead to more shots and more assist opportunities for McCollum. And I agree with Kirk. I don't think this Washington team is going to have too much trouble staying in this game against a Magic that has been not as dominant over the past this season really, but especially the last few weeks with some of these guys out, and especially with Jalen Suggs out, it takes a real toll on their defense. So boost for TJ McCollum, like him quite a bit. Luka, I agree with the sentiment there. He's expensive, but obviously it's hard to have a problem with Luka. Probably going to see a little bit of a minutes limit on Herb Jones, who obviously will have Luka will have his hands full with Herb Jones when he's on the floor. But if Jones is only going to play 23 to 25 minutes, that at least helps Luka's ceiling a bit. Love the Nembhard call as well. He's in a good spot with no Mathurin, and Cleveland likes to play quick, so good matchup there. A couple other names that I think caught my eye. Trey Johnson at 4.7 could be a really good tournament play, especially maybe a pivot off of a guy like TJ McCollum, who I think will get some ownership, but Trey Johnson also benefits from Keyshawn George being out. Also like Dante DiVincenzo in the spot, so that's probably my favorite group of point guards here.
Okay, very good. Let's go to shooting guard.
There's some carryover. Obviously, you can play Cam Spencer, Trey Johnson, all these guys. You can play at point guard as well. Desmond Bane, I think it's a good spot for him here, especially if you're not playing Paolo. He does have some. I do have some of him right now. Jace Richardson is the real cheap guy that I think is somewhat appealing in this spot. I do think there's some volatility with the minutes there. Last game, he was getting run ahead of Tyus Jones in rotation, which that was kind of the first game where we saw him play pretty distinctly over Tyus Jones. So, there's always some danger that they could go back to Suggs or to Tyus Jones a little bit more, even with no Suggs there. But at 3.4, I think he's worth a stab. Prefer Craig Porter. Definitely think his minutes are safer, but Richardson is a guy who I think could be a long shot tournament play at that 3.4 price tag. Anthony Edwards, if he goes, I think Miami has a really good defense, but they play so fast where you kind of get a little bit of an offset there because you're getting just so many added possessions. So I do like Anthony Edwards in this spot, given he's able to go. Castle at 7.8 is a little bit pricey, especially with Wemby expected to be back here in this one. But for the most part, Trey Johnson's probably the guy who I wanted to highlight. Trey Murphy as well. And then the last name I'll throw out there at 4.6, Marcus Smart. That game should be pretty fast-paced, pretty high-scoring, obviously highest total on the board at 244.5. So Marcus Smart there is playing 30-plus minutes right now in the Boston League.
Yeah, I landed in a spot where I had that much money, and I was like, can I play Marcus Smart? Am I allowed to do that? So it's good to know that he can be in my pool. Kirk, what do you got at shooting guard for me?
He's in my lineup. Boston Homer has to play this guy. I know we're not supposed to play him as chalk. He's going to be a little bit chalky, not like too bad, so I wouldn't worry about it. I love the Anthony Edwards call, especially with him being like downgraded to Q like all day, but it's injury management. So it's like if he plays, he's fine. It's not. They kind of like basically gave us the tell there. So if he's in, I love him. I like Cam Spencer a lot. I like Desmond Bane. I told you we're doing tiny hands anywhere we can tonight. So I like that. Shop's guy tonight was Trey Murphy. I like that call, especially with her back. People are going to say, "Oh, it might hurt Trey Murphy." It's not going to hurt Trey Murphy. It might hurt a couple defensive stats or something like that, but Trey Murphy's out there to shoot threes, and that's what we want out of this guy. So if he's going to go off, it's more likely with Herb on the floor, another low usage guy. So from an offensive standpoint, Marcus Smart, like I said, Trey Johnson was a good call by Kyle. I mean, he's cheap. He's kind of a pivot off some of these other chalky guys that you can do. Anthony Black. It's a matchup against the Wizards. He's 7,500, and he's going to play a lot of minutes. And defensive stats, he's probably going to get some good defensive stats in this one. So I can see that, and don't really like anyone else.
Okay, small forward.
Oh, Stefan Castle. I'll say that. If Wemby's back, if Wemby's out, I like him more. But even if Wemby's back, Castle's like the guy that works best with him.
Wemby is confirmed in, but off the bench with a minutes limit. So
yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
So I like Castle.
All right. Small forward, Kurt.
All right. Desmond Bain. I mean, you can play this guy anywhere. Desmond Bain. Aaron Naismith is interesting for a cheapie. I'm not in love with it from a ceiling standpoint, but I do like this game. I do like the opportunity. So I like that. You can play Marcus Smart here as well. A guy I do kind of like, just from a punt standpoint, is just because of the price, is 3,900 Tristan Da Silva against the Wizards. That's just if you need. It's not like I think he's going to go nuts or anything like that. I just think he's going to be a really solid play for the price and the minutes, and you can make a lot work with him there. I'm kind of out on Norman Powell tonight with Hero back, although they said Hero was back in the last one. He didn't even play. It was a coach's decision, so I don't know what to expect there. But yeah, those are my guys.
Okay, Kyle, your thoughts on small forward, please.
Yep. Also, like Neesmith and Laravia here, both in that mid 5K range. I think you can make a case for KCP if you wanted to punt there rather than with a guy like Porter or Jace Richardson, but I do prefer both of those guys over KCP. But worth noting that he should play mid-20s minutes, obviously, again, with no John Morant. But I do prefer the other options, sub 4K that we've talked about so far. Desmond Bain, we've touched on. Champagne's been really good as of late. Obviously, he had the monster performance on New Year's Eve where you can't expect that again, where he scored 36 points, but he did score 20 last game. So he's been scoring really well as of late. Obviously, with Wemby back, but off the bench, people are probably going to be pretty off of Champagne here, but at 5'3", I still think he's fine. Again, I would prefer Neesmith and Laravia in that same price range, but worth noting there at least for several lineups. I like the Da Silva call as well. Yeah, he's confirmed in the starting lineup once again, and obviously Orlando's been doing some mixing and matching with their starting lineup with all these guys out, but he's confirmed back in the starting lineup, so he's good to go there at 3.9. I think he's a decent play. Marcus Smart we've touched on. McDaniels is a guy who I also have some interest in here. Obviously, he's been a bit hit or miss with minutes at times, but some of that has been due to just game script stuff. But I do think that with a tight, I think it's a 3.5 point spread, or 2.5 now, 2.5 or 3.5. We should see 32 plus minutes there for McDaniels in a back and forth game, which is specifically good for a guy like McDaniels because he has more chances for stocks and stuff like that. So I do like that spot for him at 5.9. I think that's pretty much the guys that round out my group, but it's a really good price or a really good position for some of these mid-range guys. A lot of guys in that 5K range here.
Yeah, let's go to power forward.
Yeah, obviously Paolo and Evan Mobley are guys that I've touched on a little bit here. I like Mobley a lot here. When we take Donovan Mitchell off the floor since the trade deadline last year, we see a huge spike in assist rate and obviously usage rate as well. There have been some stints there with no Darius Garland, so some of that sample is a bit noisy. But if Garland's going to be massive chalk as well as Mobley, it does make sense to maybe lean on one of those guys rather than both, because again you're going to have to have some solid production from both of these guys, even though they aren't super expensive. But nonetheless, I think I'd give the slight edge to Mobley tonight over Darius Garland. So I'm going to be looking for a lot of pairings of Mobley and Porter, like I talked about a couple times already. Siakam in that same game is another guy that I like here. Nice boost with no Ben Mathurin on the floor. Over 30% usage rate with no Mathurin over the last 2 weeks. So Siakam looks really good. Looks like he should get a lot of shots up tonight. So those three guys are all really good spend-up options, like all of those guys quite a bit. Santi Aldama is sort of priced at his peak right now at 7K, but with no John Morant, I still think he's a good tournament play. He should come in under 15 to 20% ownership. Laravia is a guy that we touched on. Micah Potter here at 4-1 has been starting for the Pacers, which obviously they do a lot of weird things with their bigs, but they did just get rid of Tony Bradley. So I think that solidifies how confident they are in Micah Potter. And obviously he's played well over the last couple of games, 3 straight games, 25 minutes, back-to-back games with 29.5 plus DK points. So Micah Potter at 4-1 is a value guy that I also like.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Kirkdiese, power forward.
Yeah. I do love Evan Mobley. And I don't have him in my lineup on FanDuel, and I'm terrified about it. And I tagged him, and just because of lineup construction, I took him out. But I think he's going to smash. They give up a ton of steals. They give up 27th to opponent points in the paint. I think he's just going to have a field day. It's really should be on him and Garland. Jared Allen might have a good game, might not, but Mobley's the guy that should be consistent in this one. So love that play. Call from Carl. Siakam is my guy. He's in my lineup. Like him a lot. Boncaro, I'm kind of hoping they put Bilal Coulibaly on him. I don't know if they will, but I'm hoping because I'm fading him. I just not in love with the price. And, he's total hit or miss, but this is a good spot for him. I'm in on LeBron tonight with hopefully Herb guarding Luka, and just with I think he gets up for. I honestly believe that he gets up for these games against Zion. He's like the underdog just tweeted out how he's like 13-1 or something in games against Zion with like 30, 10, and 9 or something close to like a triple double and like 30-point average. So yes, he's older for sure, but I think he gets up for this game. So I like that. What would be a show if I didn't mention just a scotch? Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Felt it coming. I felt it coming. All right, let's go to center.
It's part of the brand at this point,
Yeah.
But all right, center.
Yeah.
Okay. Center, you can play Mobley here. My guy is Wendell Carter Jr. Against the Wizards, he has everything in his favor. So they're 29th in defensive rating, 27th in opponent blocks, 30th in opponent rebounds, 29th in opponent steals, 24th in opponent points in the paint. Like, the only problem is he's Wendell Carter Jr., but he's coming off of a really strong game. He's been playing a little bit better lately. I've been watching him. He's coming off of a 40 fantasy point game. I think it was 43 or something against the Pacers. I like him in this spot. And I also like, on the other side of him in this game, is Alex Sarr. They said that there's no minutes limit with him right now. He's 7,100. I don't know if that means, I don't know how much of an increase he's going to get, but I'm confident like he'll probably get 29 to 30, and there's the potential for maybe a minute or two more. But this guy is so capable of going off in this spot tonight, and I usually always like him. But so I'm playing him tonight. Jared Allen, I think, is interesting. DeAndre Ayton, I think, is interesting too. Against he's only 6K against the Pelicans. Centers smash the Pelicans nightly. So them, and I think you could probably maybe play Rudy Gobert tonight. But it's really I'm just focused on Wendell Carter Jr. and Sarr.
Yeah, Kyle, how much Carter Jr. do you have?
I have a decent amount of him. It's gonna maybe update a little bit here. It was like perfect timing. As soon as I talked about Micah Potter, Pacers came out and decided to switch their starting lineup. Micah Potter is not starting anymore. Jay Huff is getting the start at center, which is just poetic justice right there. So Jay Huff's going to get a minute boost. I just updated the projections there, so Huff might actually project pretty well now. For what it's worth, there's just a lot of volatility with the Pacers rotation, and I think that there is a chance that maybe we see some Huff and Potter shared lineups because of the Mobley and Jared Allen matchup. So I think Potter's still in play. I think you just probably feel a little bit better about J Huff. I don't even know what his price is. He's 4K. Actually cheaper than Potter.
4K,
So I probably give Huff the advantage over those two now. And obviously, foul trouble aside, I would feel decent about his minutes there. But yeah, I do like Wendell Carter if you wanted to spend up in that mid range a little bit. But I don't really love the center position today, and that's why I am getting to more Evan Mobley because you can play him at center. I also like Alexander Sarr quite a bit. Obviously, it's not the greatest matchup for him, but he does get a nice boost here with Keyshawn George out. Rebounding rates go up, usage rate goes up. So at 7-1, Sarr is a guy who I think is a really good tournament play. I like him and McCollum quite a bit. Obviously, I'm not playing both of those guys together, but those are two of my favorite tournament plays on the board. Jock Landale here at 5K is a guy I have some interest in. Matchup's not as good now that we're going to see Wemby active. He might have his hands full on defense with that. But nonetheless, at 5K, I still think he can get there. But Sarr and Mobley are the two guys that I wanted to highlight for sure from this position. And then obviously, again, you have Jay Huff. And then last name I'll throw out there, Derek Queen at 6'5" is like the extreme boom bust tournament play.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. We want to kick over to FanDuel. Before we do that, Pick Labs, the newest Fantasy Labs feature, lets you scan for the best player prop and pick them bets in seconds. That's what it's all about. It's smooth, it's quick, it's easy. Shows you everything you need to know from edges to win rates to value. And it's great if you are playing on, typical sportsbook sites, or maybe you're doing like Underdog and Prize Picks, that kind of thing. Pick Labs helps you build the slip, sends it straight out to the book of your choice. And for a limited time, you get free 99 access through a Fantasy Labs DFS subscription. You go to fantasylabs.com/pricing and use code FLEX20 for $20 off your first payment. It's fantastic. It's one of the coolest tools that we've had in a while. So I hope you guys are checking it out. Ken Roth pronounced this. Nope. Is the LL an L or a Y? Is it Spanish? I need to know that right off the bat. Let's go over
the longest city name in Europe, and the city's in Wales, so I don't know.
Oh,
but that's the name of a city. Imagine you had to do the weather for there. Let me throw it up again.
That's there's no spaces or anything. That's just one.
It's just one. Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I don't like my chances. Go Gooch. It ended with Go Gooch, I think, at the end. I caught that much. Okay, let's go to FanDuel. We've got 17, 18 minutes or so. And, of course, we want to get to some questions. Kyle, you can lead us off. Point guard FanDuel, what you got?
Yeah, not too much differing here. The one thing I guess I will know is that if you were interested in Vince Williams, he's probably a better player there. I'm still a little worried about his minutes there. They've obviously had a lot of good play with Cam Spencer there, and they could even have a couple other young guys step in. So Vince Williams, I don't think is a lock to come in and play 20-plus minutes, but he's a little bit cheaper on FanDuel. I would still prefer Craig Porter, who's 4.2. Trey Johnson, love him on FanDuel at 4.7. He's point guard, shooting guard. And then other guys that we've already mentioned, TJ McConnell, Andrew Nembhard, and then CJ McCollum I like quite a bit at 6'3". I think he's underpriced and could potentially go a little bit overlooked at the position on FanDuel. So McCollum's one of my favorite plays of the day.
Okay. Kirk?
I'm just blown away that we're lucky that we have the real broccoli boy in chat, not any fake imposters that are out there.
Is there a fake,
the real
secondary broccoli boy?
I mean, it's the real broccoli boy is what it says on his avatar. So yeah.
Oh, I see. That is good. The real broccoli boy, big Dean fan. It may be J3.
Well, he hates Bobby, right? Bobby mentioned him to me, and so I there's something going on with him and Bobby. I don't know if they're friends or he hates him, but there's something.
Let us know, the real broccoli, if you hate Bobby or you like him and you're giving him a hard time. We're curious.
Bobby just smashed too.
Point guard, yeah, he made a lot of money recently. Point guard on FanDuel, Kirk.
Same exact thing. Darius Garland, Cam Spencer for me. Luka is in play for the top stud, 12-4 over on FanDuel. Tough to get to, but you can do it. Andrew Nembhard would be my next favorite. TJ McConnell, if you can't afford Nembhard and you're trying to build, I would definitely want at least one of those guys. And then CJ McCollum and Anthony Black.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's shooting guard now.
Okay. Tiny Hand Nation, stand up. Desmond Bain. So the same guys. Cam Spencer, shooting guard eligible. Andrew Nembhard. Love Anthony Edwards. Thinking that people won't want to play him. And there's good defenders on Miami, but like Kyle said, they play so damn fast. This is a guy who can take over and just go absolutely nuts at this high pace, all the extra possessions. So like him a lot. Marcus Smart is in play. Trey Murphy is in play. And Anthony Black, who I mentioned. It's so weird seeing 7,700 on Anthony Black, but this is a great matchup for him on the defensive end. So I like him.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's it.
All right. Kyle, your thoughts at shooting guard?
Yeah. Pretty much names that we've talked about. I think the one name or maybe there's two names that would stand out as different on FanDuel that are in play are Sam Merrill at 4.3, just a little bit cheaper over there. And then Chris Middleton at 4.1. Not really high upside guys, so I don't love it, but those are the two names that are really different for the most part. It's a lot of guys that we've already touched on for me. McCollum, Trey Johnson, Desmond Bain, Andrew Nembhard, and then obviously Cam Spencer there at 5.5. So pretty similar position compared to obviously either point guard or the guys we already talked about on DraftKings.
Okay, let's go to small forward.
De Silva here at 3.9 does make some sense. He projects pretty well. Obviously, great matchup for him. Another guy who does have some minutes volatility, back and forth at times with some. This Orlando team can do a lot of weird things with their lineup. But De Silva back in the starting lineup makes me feel a little bit better about his projection there. Great matchup against Washington. Marcus Smart at 4.9. DeAndre Hunter at 4.8 could be a high upside guy, but he obviously you don't have much of a floor there because he's so scoring dependent. But if you're looking for a bench guy who's sub 5K who can go out and put up 25 plus real points, Hunter's probably at the top of that list. Laravia here at 5.9. He's obviously been playing big minutes and a great matchup there against the Pelicans. So especially if you're not playing Luka, like it does make sense to look for some other ways to get some exposure to the Lakers because they have the highest team total on the board. So, you should be expecting some production there, but not necessarily a slam dunk play by any means, but certainly worth mentioning.
Yeah. All right. Small forward. Did you already do that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did.
Kyle.
Sorry.
That's power forward. Sorry. Power
no,
forward.
You're good. So Siakam here at 8.2, I like quite a bit. I think he's really underpriced here. Obviously Mobley is also here at 8.1. A lot of my lineups on FanDuel are going to have Mobley and Siakam. So I like both of those guys quite a bit in this spot. Allen, though, is also pretty underpriced at 6.2. So if you're not playing Mobley, it does make some sense to get Allen, who has an equally good matchup. But I wouldn't be surprised if both those guys have big games, Mobley and Allen, but certainly one of those guys are in great spots to have a big game. I've talked about Sark quite a bit today, like him. Jaren Jackson Jr., I know obviously that's Kirk's guy, and at times it feels like a bit, but it's a great spot for him. I mean, obviously he's going to have to deal with Wemby at some times, but with him being limited and with Wemby starting on the bench, you're going to have actually a lot of stints for Jaren Jackson Jr. without Wemby, which does help him quite a bit in this spot. It's just going to come down to if he can stay out of foul trouble when Wemby's on the floor. But other than that, he shouldn't have much of a problem with anybody else.
That guy would, in fairness, that guy would hack Dean Shavelson with the ball on the block.
Sweaty Dean Shavelson or normal?
Sweaty Dean, sweaty, poor shirts and skins. He skins. Yeah.
That was funny. That was a good one. But yeah, I do think he still has a decent ceiling in the spot. And then Neesmith, we've touched on a couple of times already throughout the show. 5.7. Do think he's definitely in play. Back in the starting lineup, back playing pretty significant minutes. Should play 32 plus minutes here in the game that stays close. So Neesmith at 5.7, I also like.
Yeah. Okay. Kirk, power forward.
Yeah, I just got to say quickly, shout out to Butthole. I just read he got a cornhole transplant. Is that what it says?
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's all about Pascal Siakam, Evan Mobley.
Giving well wishes in only the way that Kirk can, right there.
I mean, that's my guy, Butthole. That's not so bad. But, all right. Pascal Siakam, awesome play. Evan Mobley, awesome play. Alex Sarr, awesome play for me. He's probably the more fragile of the bunch. LeBron James, I've already said how much I like him tonight. I like him. And that's kind of it. Like, I like Jared at Triple J. And I'm glad that Kyle backed me up because dude was struggling for so long this season and being so handsy. But we know what's in there, and he can dominate slates. Paulo Banchero, I'll pass at that 10.4 price tag on FanDuel. But Jared Allen is interesting, and maybe even a little bit of Zion over here. I think you're probably going to get 29 minutes, 30 minutes of tops, but he could ham on the floor.
Here's why I can't play Triple J ever. Last two games, 34 and 30 minutes. In one game, he had 3 boards. In one game, he had 1 board. I can't play a big guy who doesn't get me 10 rebounds. I just can't freaking do it. I can't, Kirk.
I get it. But I'm telling you, there's a night like on FanDuel when he's going to have a block party, and it's going to be just lovely. Yeah.
Right. Like, I know
he's going to be like 2 to 5% owned too. And
I know he can do it. He has games where he has 12 boards and he gets blocks in. But if I play him and he has one of those nights, it's going to ruin my week. Like, I can't play that man in my lineup.
Fair enough. I'm not going to force him on you. But we got to get you a screenshot tonight. You got to get a screenshot of this Ramsey guy. You got to get a win tonight, like in this week.
And I'm only playing $1 as usual, and I'm taking it down.
Like, look at this $100.
Yeah, that's what I do. Center, what are you doing?
All right, center. For me, it's Wendell Carter Jr., Evan Mobley, or Pascal Siakam, or Alexander Sarr, depending on what. I'm playing a combo of those guys in both power forward and center. But from there, if you want another play that's good, I think DeAndre Ayton is interesting at 5,900. I think Jay Huff, now that he's starting at 4K, could be pretty good. He's had some big games this season when given the opportunity. I also think Jared Allen, again, you can play him at power forward. So it's kind of just that combo of guys between power forward and center. A lot of good plays there, but maybe Kyle has some more ideas.
Kyle?
Yeah, a lot of it is the same range of guys, but I do find myself playing some of these, more expensive options like Mobley, Siakam, even Sarr and Aldama at power forward, and then you can consider some of the cheaper guys at center. Obviously, Wendell Carter we've touched on, Jay Huff we've touched on, but I'll be curious to see where the ownership comes in on Jay Huff, because I think Jock Landale is a very intriguing pivot. I think a lot of people are going to go to Huff, obviously with the new news of him being back in the starting lineup. He's a little bit cheaper than Landale, but at 4.5, I think Landale has a really nice ceiling here. His points and rebounds matchup is pretty solid here, and we're talking about Triple J not getting on the glass, and that's because Landale's been scooping up a lot of rebounds when he's on the floor, and obviously he's been benefiting from the absence of Edey. So at 4.5, I think he's certainly underpriced, and I don't think he'll have enough ownership considering this new Pacers lineup.
Yeah. Okay. Very good, guys. We have 7-8-ish or so minutes here until we hit the lock. Make sure you bump that thumbs up for us if you're watching on FanDuel, and we will dive into some questions. As always, starting off with the old Discord. DKGPP, Kyle, giving it to you. Your hair looks good. You don't have to fix it. It looks good, Kyle. Cornette Smart or Huff Tyson? Who you got?
Huff Tyson. I don't really love Cornette tonight.
Okay. We'll go to Ram, DK Cash. Kyle, right back to you. It is a cash question, to be clear. Anthony Black or Darius Garland?
Garland.
Okay. Kirk, a few questions coming for you. Let me scroll up in the YouTube just a little bit. Maryi Danyeezy says, with Merrill starting, do we have any interest?
No, because he's probably going to be on a minutes limit of some sort as well. So I don't really have much interest.
Okay. We'll go to Boney, Kirk. FanDuel single entry. Eliminate one of these four. Siakam, Mobley, Sarr, or WCJ. Do the letters.
I like all of them. So it's whatever you can fit in that combination. I like every one of those plays. Those are my lineup guys. Okay. Maybe Kyle can answer it.
Kyle,
I'm trying to put my king of the court bet in for Triple J right now.
Stop it.
What was the
is Siakam, Mobley, Sarr, or Wendell Carter?
Just pick
One's
one of those.
Go. One's got to
go. I'll get Wendell Carter out of there.
Okay, very good. Kyle, Paolo Banchero, PB No J as the king of the court tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I do a king of the court simulator that I run, and I actually have him as the second highest likelihood. But I do think he's going to have a good amount of ownership, I suppose, in that contest. But yeah, I think obviously if Luka doesn't win, he'd probably be the favorite for me.
What are the rules?
Or some other guys.
So I have it goes Luka, Paolo, Anthony Edwards, Pascal Siakam, who I think would be my pick tonight.
Could do it.
LeBron, he doesn't usually pop that as much. So maybe LeBron's a decent play because again, if you're baiting Luka, which in my opinion you should never bet like the obvious guy because you're just looking for bonus bets here. So I never would bet Luka tonight. So if that's the case, LeBron would have some nice leverage there because people who are picking Luka certainly won't pick LeBron. And then Mobley I do think is interesting or Garland, but I think I would be between Siakam and LeBron tonight.
So they have to score 50. That's what it is, right?
On the DraftKings King of the Court one is just whoever leads in PRA, but the FanDuel one tonight is anybody who scores 50. Yeah.
Yeah. Has Jaren Jackson ever scored 50 in his career? Could someone tell me, please, quickly?
I'm gonna guess no. If I'm being honest, I'm gonna guess.
I'm gonna think no too.
Okay, a few more questions. Tina says, Kyle, I've got 3,800 remaining at the util spot on DK. Porter, KCP. I already have Garland in my lineup.
He already has Craig Porter in the lineup, or is that
no? It has Garland, which maybe is the matter between the other two choices.
Yeah, I would still pick Porter.
Okay. Lippy says, did Kyle get a haircut?
I did, yes, about 2 hours ago.
There you go. Looking fresh. Kirk.
Jaren Jackson Jr.'s career high is 44 points.
Oh.
He actually has scored 46 times.
All right.
Yeah, for a minute.
I'm playing.
He fooled us. And
we're going to win $1 million. I'll win $1 million if he scores 50.
You will. That is true.
I'll be in bonus bets.
Yeah. That's fine.
And $4.41 for the over on his points.
Which is what really counts.
Cash.
AC Clip fan Kirk, Jarris Walker and Wendell Carter Jr. or Aaron Naismith and Goga?
I would say Naismith and Goga. If Wendell Carter Jr. gets in foul trouble, Goga. Or if there's blowout scenarios too, Goga could do pretty well relative to his salary.
Okay, Kirk, Cam Spencer for cheap.
He's certainly in my lineup.
Derek says Anthony Black for King of the Court. A. Dean says Anthony Davis. Sure, he could. AD could do it, right?
AD could certainly do it. I mean, if Anthony Black gets there, you'll have the whole bonus pool to yourself.
Right.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
And why do that when you could split Jaren Jackson Jr. with me? You know what I mean?
Thoughts on Ayton, Kyle, being a slate breaker tonight?
I mean, I don't hate it. It's a good matchup for him, but there's just so many guys in that range at the center position like that I'm just trying to prioritize, or even the power forward center guys like Siakam, Mobley, Sarr, even Wendell Carter. So it's just more of a prioritization issue.
Okay. Another question here. This one back to the Discord from D-Rock, DKGPP, Wendell Carter Jr. and Spencer or Sarr and Smart?
That's a tough one. You said GPP?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Sarr side. It's a great, they're both great options. I just think that first side is a little bit more chalky. So I'll just take it a tiebreaker with the ownership and take the second option.
Okay. Kirk, we got a cash question. Who is my must-have in FanDuel Cash tonight?
Darius Garland.
Okay. DK single entry GPP, Kirk, Mobley, Wendell Carter, or Sarr and Ayton?
Single entry?
Yep.
I like Mobley, Wendell Carter, but they're probably going to come with a higher ownership. I think Ayton is going to be really low owned tonight, so I go that.
Okay. New generation, Kyle. We've got less than 2 minutes until lock. De Silva and Siakam or Laravia and Spencer?
I'm going to take the Siakam side.
Okay. Kyle, DK Cash, Naismith, Boncaro or Smart, and he says Nemby. I assume that's Wemby. Oh, no, Nembhard. It is Nemby. Naismith, Boncaro or Smart and Nembhard.
I don't know if the salaries add up. Maybe I'm just doing the mental math wrong, but I'll take the Paolo side.
Okay. Maybe he did mean Wemby. I don't know.
If you meant Wemby, then you can't play Wemby in cash tonight.
Right. Any Miami players that either of you like? Are any of you playing any Miami players?
No. I have some interest in Norm Powell because he's a high upside guy, but with Hero likely back, not a ton of interest in Miami.
Thoughts on Cooper Flag? So are the Mavs on any slate?
No, they're on a late slate or a showdown.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's talking about maybe for
King
the
of the Court.
King of the Court. Yeah, I think he's a great King of the
Was
Court
that-
pick, by the way.
No, Lippy tends to always ask for questions to someone that's not on the slate. Happens quite frequently. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying.
All right. Does King of the Court mean tonight? So the late games would count in that?
That counts,
Cooper
yeah.
Flag,
Yep, it's all
Cooper
games.
Flag could be King of the Court.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what we missed. Well, we hit the lock. We did our best here. We did pretty good, actually. Caught up just about all the questions. So we can clear on out of here. For Kyle, for Kirkdiese, for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you. And we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crushed.